Hey, Angus here, and today we're going to discuss the best footwear to use on your Strength Erg. And there's only two real considerations you really need to think about. It's the sponginess of the shoe and the grippiness of the sole. Obviously you want them to be comfortable, and I prefer a shoe that allows your toes to splay, but it's maybe not that important. So let's get the sponginess out of the way. The only one here that I have a spongy is here. It's just a regular spongy trainer. The reason you do not want this is because when you're pressing on the leg press there, you're going to dissipate power into the sponge. That might be good when you're running, maybe to offset some of that load going through your body. But when you're pressing through there, you want a firm contact on there, and you don't want any power to dissipate other than through the machine. So this will limit the amount of power you can use and the amount of power that shows up on the monitor. So spongy shoes, get rid of them. The rest of these shoes are all pretty good. We've got Metcons, Nobles. This is the one I designed with Freet, which I might say is going to be the best one. You're nice and low here, so it's a zero drop there. You got plenty of power to push through. You got a nice splayed toe box there, so you're going to really be able to push your foot out with power. So you might want your toes scrunched together when you're kicking, say, a football, because that's going to produce power. But when you're pushing into the ground, you want your feet to splay. This is why the best deadlifters in the world generally deadlift barefoot, because it allows their foot to splay. So the Freet Milo is a good choice. Also has this lateral support. The shoes I'm wearing just now are called the Freet Vibe, which would also be really good, but they don't have this lateral support. And also you got reinforced eyelids. So that would be a good shout. But maybe you've got a Metcon or a Noble. The Metcons are actually quite great. They've actually got quite a good wide toe box. Sometimes they're a little bit elevated here in the heel. They've also got this heel cup that goes in here. These are kind of older Metcons that go in. So when you're pulling the machine back, very useful in this. Really nice on the rower as well. Plenty of movement in your foot to allow your ankle to bend, and a nice tough shoe. Noble, if they had a wider toe box, they would actually be a good shoe, but they might be a little spongy on the bottom, but not very spongy to dissipate too much power. And these, I think, these ones or other ones, they have a little bit of sort of sponginess there in the insole that might dissipate a little bit of power, but generally would be a good shoe. The Milo is a good shoe. This is a bit of a rare shoe. I'm just kind of using this as a Converse type hybrid. This one's really good, but maybe you don't want a high top, because on this, you actually want your ankle to bend as much as you can. If you've got that tied up, it's going to lock you in. So these are great for deadlifts where you're keeping a kind of stiff angle and your ankle's not necessarily coming forward on a deadlift. On this, they might limit your use, but you could also lace those up. The last sort of thing that is quite popular on a rowing machine sometimes is a Olympic lifting shoe where you have a higher heel. Again, these are going to be nice and firm, so you're going to be able to put plenty of power in, but with the raise in the heel, you can allow a little bit more ankle bend, so you can get this contraption closer in, so you can push from a deeper angle. So for a lot of people that have limited ankle range of motion, an Olympic lifting shoe could be ideal as well. And an honorable mention would be the Vivo Barefoot Multi Strength, which is also a nice flat barefoot shoe. You're going to dissipate a lot of power. To recap, you don't want sponginess. Now for the other movements, your chest press and your row, you actually want a nice bit of grip. So if these are too slidey and they're going to slide on the surface, so when you're on the machine and when you're doing your row, your feet are up here, but on your chest press, your feet are down here. And when you're doing the chest press, you don't want your feet to slip out, because that's going to lose you some power. So you want a shoe that's going to grip on the surface, whatever the surface, the Strength Erg that you're using is. So if your surface is quite grippy, then most shoes will work. But if your surface is maybe a little bit slippy, you want to think about the consideration. Again, this is where this toe splay on some of these shoes could come in quite handy, so you can press in and deliver a good push. Obviously, I don't have the mount on here. Anyway, just wanted to keep this video short. The best shoes for the Strength Erg, something grippy, something ideally with a little bit of toe splay, and ideally zero drop or with a heel, but it's got to be firm. So you don't want your spongy running trainer on this, because you're just going to lose power. Angus out. I'll check you guys in the next video. Hey, thanks for watching. If you want some more Concept 2 Strength Erg videos, click this one next.